Hi, this is Chris from the Stephanie Miller Show. Please enjoy this exclusive clip from Political Voices Network.
Okay, saw you on TV. I obviously have been losing my shizzle about this Hunter Biden charge since the beginning of the show. Yeah. Can you just give us your take on this? Because as many people have said, no one is ever charged for this. So talk to us about what happened here and why.
Yeah, Steph, we could do an hour on this one. You know, it really is pretty horrific that these charges were brought against Hunter Biden, not because he didn't violate the law. It looks like he did, in a way that people probably violate the law thousands and thousands of times every day by fudging something on a firearms purchase application form. Let me tell you, Steph, as a federal prosecutor for decades, we don't bring criminal charges against somebody who fudges, an answer on a firearms application form unless they go on to buy that firearm, shoot somebody with it. Yeah. Then we bring more significant charges, and we may tack on a petty charge like this. So I don't excuse the conduct, but we have to recognize these cases are not brought against other people. His last name was Biden. That's why these charges were brought, in my opinion, and it really is pretty despicable. Of course, it's not over because there are lots of challenges that come with this particular charge, and I suspect, Steph, you're going to see a renegotiated guilty plea that results in probation, which doesn't make it right, but I suspect that will be the end result.
Yeah, but this has, of course, the feeling of caving to political pressure. And as you say, something is never even charged, that they were screaming sweetheart deal about is now being completely overcharged. I was saying that, Elie Mystal had just, I think, started on his apology to Merrick Garland tour when this happened. This does not have a good look because you're like this. First of all, no one else would have left. I was saying, I'm so sick of, we don't have to just be the good guys. We have to be the better guys all the time and above politics, to keep the Trump appointed prosecutor in the first place and then cave to what clearly seems to be pressure from these right-wing lunatics, including threats against FBI agents and prosecutors working on the Hunter Biden probe. To get to the point we're at now.
This is what we get. We get these incessant threats against law enforcement anytime Trump is being investigated or Hunter Biden is being investigated, but not aggressively enough in the estimation of the Republicans. And the reason we are here, Steph, is because we have not deployed the rule of law against people like the insurrectionists in Congress who asked for pardons because they knew they'd committed crimes on and around January 6th, and they wanted to get away with those crimes. You reap what you sow. And if we don't prod the rule of law into wakefulness and start holding the Jim Jordans and Marjorie Taylor Greenes accountable for their crimes, we can expect more of this.
Yeah, it has the feel of caving to the bullies. You're absolutely right. And this story, prosecutors and FBI agents involved in the Hunter Biden investigation have been the targets of threats and harassment by people who think they haven't been tough enough on the president's son, part of a dramatic uptick in threats against FBI agents that has coincided with attacks on the FBI and the Justice Department by congressional Republicans and Trump. The threats have prompted the FBI to create a standalone unit to investigate and mitigate them. We have stood up an entire threat unit to address threats that the FBI employees' facilities are receiving. Said one spokesperson, it's unprecedented. It's a number we've never had before. I mean, you mentioned pardons. We just played Trump from Meet the Press this Sunday saying he thought about pardoning himself. Yep. You don't have to be a federal prosecutor like you, Glenn, to go, what innocent person talks about getting pardoned or pardoning themselves? So here
you only request a pardon when you know you've committed crimes and you want to get away with those crimes.
So talk about this environment for a minute, because we were talking about Jack Smith and his team have been protected by armed security. We've heard about all of them, right? To Fani Willis, to who is a Judge Chutkan needs, marshals to go get a cup of coffee. I mean, I don't even know. I don't even know what my question is. I'm so sort of speechless about, where we found ourselves. But, Go ahead. Your thoughts.
Yeah. It's so part of the problem, and I think I'm going to sound like a broken record here, is that we haven't held accountable Donald Trump when he continues to engage in violent rhetoric that is designed and reasonably likely to inspire his supporters to violence. Just a few days ago in his latest hate rally, he said, and I quote, "Joe Biden ordered me indicted on 91 charges in 4 separate cases." Steph, that is a provable lie, and it is designed to poison all future jury pools, and we do nothing about it. That's why we are in this pickle, because we do nothing about it. Not because he says it. He will always say that kind of BS. It's because the system refuses to take responsibility and hold him accountable for it. I hope at some point we wise up and we say enough is enough.
There it is, my first drink of the day, Z-Biotics Pre-Alcohol Probiotic. Many of you know my story. I stopped drinking wine for 3 years during COVID, during the lockdown as part of a health reset. Now I drink wine in moderation, but this is an amazing new product. I've always believed in probiotics. And Z-Biotics, check this out. You drink just one of these. It's the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by PhD scientists to tackle rough mornings after drinking. I am using this and I feel great in the morning. I don't have to worry if I have an extra glass of wine. I still feel great in the morning. Here's how it works. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut. I've always had acid reflux problems. It is this byproduct, not dehydration, that's to blame for your rough next day. Z-Biotics produces an enzyme to break this byproduct down. All I know is it works. It is Z-Biotics Pre-Alcohol Probiotic. Go to zbiotics.com/politicalvoices or scan the QR code on the screen right now.